In a small, quiet town nestled between rolling hills and silver lakes, a boy named Elias lay in bed staring at his ceiling. He wasn't sleepy, not yet. His mind swirled with thoughts, questions, and the little worries that always seemed to grow bigger at night. Outside his window, the moon hung low, casting silver light across his room. The world was quiet, but something felt different. A strange hum filled the air, like the soft ringing of wind chimes. Then as the clock struck midnight, a soft glow spread across the room. The shadows stretched, shifting into patterns of twinkling lights, and right before Elias's astonished eyes, a shimmering doorway appeared by his window. A tall, mysterious figure stepped through, his cloak woven from the fabric of the night itself. Tiny stars twinkled across his robes, shifting and flickering like constellations moving through the sky. His eyes, deep and kind, held the light of 1,000 galaxies. "I am Lior, the star painter," the figure said, his voice gentle as moonlight. "And you, Elias, have been chosen for a very special task." Elias sat up, his heart pounding. "Me? But why?" Lior smiled, his expression warm but knowing. "Because only a dreamer like you can help me. The stars are fading, Elias. If we do not paint new ones, the sky will fall into endless night." Elias swallowed. "But how can I help?" Lior extended a hand. "Come and I will show you." Elias hesitated for only a moment before curiosity and excitement pushed him forward. He reached out, and the moment his fingers touched Lior's hand, the room dissolved into a swirl of golden mist. When the mist cleared, Elias found himself standing on a bridge that stretched through an endless sky. But this was no ordinary bridge. It was made of glowing mist, shimmering with colors that shifted like the northern lights. Below, an ocean of dreams stretched endlessly, reflecting the hopes, wishes, and fears of every sleeping child in the world. "Where are we?" Elias whispered in awe. "This is the Dream Bridge," Lior said. "From here we gather stardust to create new stars, but only those who face their fears can collect the brightest dust." He handed Elias a brush made of pure moonlight, its bristles soft and glowing. "Will you try?" Elias nodded bravely, gripping the brush as they walked across the bridge. But just as he took his first step, the mist swirled, darkening. A shape rose from the mist, a shadow, tall and terrible. Its eyes glowed red like embers, and it loomed over Elias, whispering in a voice that sounded like the wind howling through an empty forest. It was his worst fear, the creature from his nightmares. Elias's hands shook. He wanted to run, to close his eyes and wake up. I can't do this," he whispered. Lior knelt beside him. "Fear is only a shadow, Elias. It has no weight, no true form, unless you let it." Elias looked up at the towering figure. He could feel his heart pounding, but Lior's words echoed in his mind. Shadows had no weight, no true form. Taking a deep breath, Elias lifted his brush. With a single sweeping stroke, golden light poured from the bristles, cutting through the darkness like the first rays of dawn. The shadow let out a whispery sigh and shattered into tiny glowing fireflies. They danced around Elias, then floated upward, vanishing into the night. Elias gasped. "I did it!" Lior's eyes twinkled like distant stars. "Now gather the stardust." Elias dipped his brush into the glowing mist, and tiny specks of stardust clung to the bristles. They shimmered like liquid gold. He hesitated, then, trusting his heart, he lifted the brush high and painted a single stroke across the sky. A new star burst into life. It shimmered brighter than all the others, casting its gentle light across the universe. Elias stared in wonder. He had done it. "You are more powerful than you know, Elias," Lior said softly. "Remember this, whenever fear tries to stop you." As the sky filled with new stars, the dream bridge faded. Elias felt himself drifting lighter than air back home. When he woke, his room was bathed in the soft glow of morning. Had it all been a dream? Then he saw it. His brush resting on his nightstand, still shimmering with a tiny speck of stardust. Elias smiled. He would never be afraid of the dark again. And somewhere in the sky, a new star twinkled, one that only he had painted. The end.